we now know the playoff schedule, and that's pertinent because the Dolphins are in the playoffs. What is up, Finn fans? We finally know. It didn't take long. It's literally 12:50 Sunday night, Monday morning, depending on how you see the world. And the playoff schedule's out. So we will know when we are playing. And spoiler alert, it's a day that I'm not busy, and I was terrified. We'll talk about that. The regular season is over. So the Dolphins season isn't over, but the regular season's over. So I'm going to give you regular season stats, and we're going to talk about that. And then I want to talk about what Mike McDaniel said about Tua Tagovailoa and see if we can read between the lines and pinpoint all that good stuff. Without further ado, I'm going to minimize myself, and we're going to look at the playoff schedule. 1 o'clock on Sunday. So I'm going to my dad's family's house on this Saturday, and I was terrified that the Dolphins were going to be playing the playoff game on Saturday. And I was like, please, I need to live stream the game. But I also haven't seen my dad's side of the family in a while. And God, I was just in turmoil, just terrified, crying in my own head. And thank God the Dolphins are not playing on Saturday. They are playing on Sunday at 1 o'clock in Buffalo. Obviously, we'll go more into this. We'll get more deeper dive into this, all that good stuff as the days go on, because we are getting prepared for the Dolphins' first playoff game since 2016. Hopefully, we have a better showing than we did in 2016, and hopefully, we win this game. It's gonna be a hard one facing the Buffalo Bills. Both games we faced Buffalo, we either won by a small margin or lost by a small margin. I don't know why I'm saying margin weird, but let's play this game. Let's play this game tight. Let's play this game good. Let's go. But you can see here the first game is going to be Seattle at San Fran. I'm going to pick these games. I'm going to make my playoff predictions. Then we have the Chargers heading to Jacksonville. Chargers got banged up. Played a lot of their starters. Supposedly Justin Herbert took a big hit. He's fine. Mike Williams got injured. He might not play. And Bosa took a big hit. Supposedly he's fine. Then you have Dolphins at Buffalo, Giants at Minnesota, and then the night game is the Ravens at the Bengals. Craziness because they literally just played. Like, literally just played. And then you have the Cowboys at the Bucs ending it all. We made it. I'm sorry, I just have to take a step back and say this. We're in the playoffs. I didn't think we'd make it, and I'm glad we made it. It's going to be hard. It didn't matter who we faced, whether it was the Bills, the Bengals, or the Chiefs, if they ended up faltering and the Bills took the number 1 seed. Didn't matter. All those games would have been hard. All of those games would have been in the cold. All of those games are against good offenses and some good defenses, but we did it. We did it. So that's the schedule. We're going to look at regular season stats, and then we're going to kind of talk a little bit about Mike McDaniel's press conference. I'm not going to do the whole thing. I'm just mostly focusing on his two we're going to play. So I'm going to give you, let's start it off, right? The regular season's over. These stats are going to stay the way they are. Playoff postseason stats don't intertwine with the regular season stats. So Tua Tagovailoa only played 12 games, 13. I'm saying he played a full 12, but he's played 13. He's passed for 3,548 yards, which is 12th in the NFL. 25 touchdowns, tied for 6th in the NFL. Only 8 interceptions, very good. 105.5 passer rating, that is first in the NFL. He has thrown for 162 first downs. I'm going to say that to you one more time. Tua has thrown for 162 first downs. That is 12th in the NFL. I don't want to hear nothing about, the reason why the defense is on the field for so long is because it's Tua's fault. No. 12th in the NFL. 162 first downs. You could take that and you can go suck an egg. 64.8 passer rating. Now this was my projection. You guys can go back and watch the video where I talk about my projection on Tua. I wanted him to play the full season. I even said back in that video he needs to play the full season. If he doesn't, that is a problem. It is a problem. There's no sugarcoating it. Sugarcoatering. There's no sugar coating it. He needed to play the full season. He didn't play 5 games. Those 5 games definitely hurt us, but also 3 out of the 4 hurt us. I had him projected to throw about 39 to 4,200 in a full season of 17 games. He was on pace for that. He was off by about 300 and something yards to hit the minimum, and that is missing 5 games, but still need to do better. I wanted him to have 34 touchdowns. He missed that by 9. Again, he missed the 5 games, and I said if he threw 10 interceptions, I'd be all right with that. He threw 8, even better. His last year, where again, he played the same amount of games. So in 2021, he played the same amount of games. He threw for 2,653 yards, did much better. 16 touchdowns, much better. And he threw 10 interceptions, much better than that. And he had a 90.1 passer rating, much better than that. So that's Tua. I'm not giving you my assessment on him on the year. This is just stats. I have the year in review. I have Tua's year in review. I have all these videos planned when the season's not over, because the season's not over. Tyreek Hill, 1,710 receiving yards at a second in the NFL, 7 touchdowns, tied for 6th. Jalen Waddle, 1,356 receiving yards, that is 7th in the NFL, 8 touchdowns, that is tied for 5th. We have probably, if not, yes, definitely, the best wide receiving tandem in the NFL. Fantastic. Raheem Mostert, 891 rushing yards, which is 21st in the NFL. He actually has more rushing yards than Ezekiel Elliott and Jonathan Taylor. Good for him. 3 touchdowns. Altogether, Jeff Wilson, with his time with the 49ers and Miami, 860 yards was his 24th. But with Miami, he only has 320 rushing yards. Now, defense. I'm not going to go too far into the defense again. That is where my year in review comes in. Christian Wilkins, 96 tackles. That is the most tackles by a defensive lineman since 1994. People, for the first couple of years of Christian Wilkins' existence in the NFL, wanted to call him a bust, and he sucks, and we need to move on from him, and bleed, blah, da, boo, da, boop. He needs to be re-signed. Christian Wilkins is a monster. I love him. I love the pick, and I love the man. I'm going to try my best to get him on the channel. Jalen Phillips, 7 sacks. Now, a lot of people are on that boat now with Jalen Phillips, saying he's a bust because he only has 7 sacks. He's not sacking anymore, even though PFF has him ranked as like the 8th best pass rusher. Gets a ton of pressure, gets a ton of hits, gets all this good stuff. But of course, he doesn't finish. Think what you want at this point. I give you stats, I give you the facts, and I let you make your decision. Like I said, I'll go more into detail on the rest of the defense when I do the year in review, because again, the year isn't over. Well, the season's not over. Sanders, a kicker. He's 26 for 32. He missed 6 kicks, right? But they were important 6 kicks. 81.2 completion. Percentage of his kicks. My brain isn't working. 2 for 6 on 50-plus yarders. He was 12 for 13 on 40 to 49 yarders. Perfect 7-7, 30 to 39 yards, and 5 for 6, 20 to 29 yards. His long was 55 yards. So overall, like I said, I'm not going to go too far into this. Just want to give you some stats, some pertinent stats in the end of the year. But again, when the season's over, I'm going to say again because it feels so good. The season's not over. I'm going to give you my full, maybe it'll be over in 3 weeks when we win the Super Bowl. I don't know. I'll give you my full assessment of the team, give you my full assessment of the offense, the defense, and Tua Tagovailoa, and obviously Mike McDaniel. So now let's talk, speaking of Mike McDaniel, let's see what he had to say about Tua, right? Because that's important. We want to have our starting quarterback back, regardless of how you think about him. And some of you guys are literally just pulling out the excuses for Skylar Thompson's performance yesterday, which, again, I will reiterate it because people are like, well, you're such a hater towards Skylar, but you're not versus Tua, and it just makes me laugh, and I'm reading a ton of this. For one, I am equal. I keep the same energy for all 3 quarterbacks. I've kept the same energy for all the quarterbacks going all the way back to 2018 when I started this, and we had Ryan Tannehill and Brock Osweiler. I keep the same energy. People think I don't, but that's because you're not listening to the words that are coming out of my mouth. Week 1, Tua's performance. I did not like it. I said it wasn't bad, but it wasn't good. I also said if Tua keeps playing like this, we are not going to win games. People want to forget that. People have their agendas. It's recorded. I'm saying the same thing about Skyler. He didn't lose the game. He didn't win the game like some are saying and put the team on. Someone literally called me an a-hole in the comment section and said, Skyler put the team on his back and won that game. With 0 touchdowns and 125 yards and we scored only 9 points. How in the flip did that happen? So we need our starting quarterback back, right? Skyler, there's no knocking on Skyler. I said this yesterday and I'll reiterate it again because some people just don't listen to the words that come out of my mouth. So I think Skyler's going to be really good, but I don't think he's ready right now. He's a raw 7th round pick. Brock Purdy apparently wasn't. He needs more time. So they asked Mike McDaniel, said, what would the process be with quarterback Tua Tagovailoa this week, and where's Teddy in terms of his status? He says, we have a lot of question marks. I left the Tua question last Friday. He'll have another day. We'll continue to take it day by day, and I will not even think about any sort of game, whether that's this year or next year, until he's fully ready to go, and that comes with medical clearance. That's why the procedure's in place. I feel like that man was cleared a while ago, and they're doing something. Haven't even thought about that. Ready for either quarterback against the Bills. There's a lot of things that we have to get through training room first. Teddy was battling to be available. We think that he was in a spot that he could have come through in an emergency situation, and Skyler got twisted up a couple times too, so we'll have to see how all that shapes out. But yeah, there's some question marks, but fortunately this team has proven not to blink in any sort of question marks either way. That's not true at all. We have guys that we really believe in, and we'll go with the healthiest group up to Buffalo and play a good football team. So they asked him, you need obviously to get him through the protocol, quarterback Tua, before you would consider it. Do you need a full week of practice coming off of the long layoff? Again, I'm pretty disciplined. Once it was articulated to me that it doesn't help Tua in any way, shape, or form if I project any sort of things besides, hey, he's just pandering at this point. Do you get a chance to talk to Tua after all the games to see his reaction? Yes, no. He was in the locker room waiting for his teammates, which I'll pop a video up. Tua was waiting in the tunnel for the team to come off the field to say hi. So Tua was there. He just wasn't on the sideline. I don't know what they're doing with Tua. I don't know what Mike McDaniel's doing with Tua. He is beating around the bush, and I wish he was just more blatant and obvious and honest with us too. Like, just say it. Just say what's going on with Tua. Tua's contemplating his brain and this and that, or we're worried about him taking another big hit and we might just sit him down. Just be honest. Stop this whole pandering thing about, again, I'm more disciplined. Once it was articulated to me that it doesn't help in any way, shape, or form, I project any sort of blah, 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 but I'm not worried about timeline. Blah, 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 blah. It's not because I keep people in suspense. It's because it's the best thing for the human being. You're talking to Tua, sure. Be like, Tua, listen, don't worry about it, my man, blah, blah, blah. Listen, he's going through something right now. I can't tell you, but, he's still in concussion protocol. Just say that. Say he's still in concussion protocol. We'll see how. But if he's not in concussion protocol, then say that. He's out of concussion protocol, but I'm not rushing him back. He doesn't need to play right now. We have capable backups that will do that. You're giving nothing, Mike McDaniel. You're giving us nothing. And that's what I'm giving you, unfortunately, and I do apologize for that. I wish I could give you more information. Hopefully, as the week goes on, we hear up to, because Wednesday's when they start practicing, right? Wednesday, Thursday, Friday is where you get the injury report and they start practicing. So Monday, they're going to have a victory. Monday, they're going to relax. Tuesday, they do some meeting stuff, and Wednesday, they get on the field. They start practicing, or would be practicing. Hopefully we hear Tua's out of concussion protocol. He could play all that stuff. If not, Skyler, and again, we're going to do the film breakdown tomorrow. And I'm going to show you that I've seen it with my own eyeballs, that he left a lot of meat on the bone. But this is what I got for you today. Hope you enjoyed it. Hit that thumbs up. Let me know. We're in the playoffs. Hit the thumbs up because we're in the flipping playoffs. Come on. Give you the schedule. Give you some stats. I'm going to give you whatever Mike McDaniel says about Tua, which isn't much. I hate the vagueness. I'd be a horrible head coach. Because someone will come up to me and be like, listen, Doug, are you trading for so-and-so? And I'd be like, well, we're talking about it, but until it actually happens or not, this guy's my guy. So leave it alone. I'd be horrible head coach. I'd be so transparent. That's why it always makes me laugh when people are like, Doug, you said this. I'm like, no, I didn't. Well, if you look at what you said here, it could be taken. Don't. What I say is what I say. And what I mean is what I mean. Don't take something and then just be like, well, if you take this word and you spell it backwards, then you can interpret what you want. I'm not that guy. I tell you what I tell you. I mean what I mean. Plain and simple. But that's what I got for you. I'm excited. The heat's on. I don't know if you can tell my ears are getting red. I'm very hot. I'm about to open the window, let the cold air blast me in the face. But I'm just excited. We're in the playoffs. We made it. We did it. For a good chunk after we lost to the Packers, I didn't think we were going to make it. And then we lost to the Patriots. And I'm like, I really don't think we're going to make it. And we made it. I'm very happy to be wrong. I love being wrong, especially in these situations. Oh, it feels good to be wrong. But I'll see you guys tomorrow. We're going to break down the film of Skylar Thompson. I don't think we really need to break down the film of the defense. They held him to 6 points. Did fantastic. It's going to be different against Buffalo. Hopefully they make the changes they need to. I love you guys. I'll see you tomorrow. Like usual, stay classy. And fins up.